Archangel Michael gives a clear warning and says, "Stop right now. God says you have only 10 seconds left, or you could lose everything He has prepared for you. You need to open this now. My child, my dear one, take a deep breath and pause before reading any further. Right now, something holy is coming together around you. It is not a mistake that you see this. Heaven has been trying to get in touch with you for hours, and this is the first time the message has reached you without being harmed. Please pay close attention. I, along with God, have stepped into your time right now to stop something dangerous and secret that was trying to take what was yours. If you felt drawn here, if your chest feels tight, or if all of a sudden your thoughts stopped, it is because God and I came into your timeline. You got there just in time. You opened this at the very last second, which was okay with God. I can now talk. Pay attention, kid. Let me ask you something before I share what God revealed to me. Have you noticed that life lately feels like a storm that never ends? Strange people acting in strange ways, delays you didn't expect, sudden fears and chances disappearing just as you were about to seize them. All of this did not happen by chance. These were warnings, signs, and echoes of something trying to mess up your plans. My love, heaven will never show up for no reason. If God says 10 seconds, your window is about to close. The blessing with your name on it could be given to someone else if you don't act right away. That cannot happen because you have been through too much for too long and in too much pain. Dear one, I need to tell you what God showed me. Someone has been calling you by name when you are not there. Someone is trying to take something that is yours. God in heaven could no longer keep quiet about your miracle, your breakthrough, or your opening. That is why they brought you here. Remember this though. Before I tell you what they wanted, they picked you. It is safe for you. You are being watched over from morning to night. Behind the scenes, heaven has been fighting for you the whole time. I am sorry that your life has been so hard lately. The miracle that is meant for you is huge, strong, and will change your whole life. This brings you light, provision, healing, and renewal, which is exactly what your soul has been asking for when things have been the darkest. Just before miracles of this size happen, things always get worse. Dear one, this is what God showed me. If you give up, ignore, or turn away from this message from heaven right now, it will delay what heaven already planned for you. That is why 10 seconds were given to us. It was almost the end of your spiritual timing, my dear. But you are not meant to fall. You don't have to give up the thing that was supposed to help you get through your pain. Heaven is giving you clarity, safety, and a sudden change. But only if you stay here and let this message do its job. Let me speak straight to your heart before I go on. It is almost time for your miracle. The truth about your blessing is stronger than the lies that are meant to hurt your reputation. The darkness that tried to swallow you up cannot beat your future. Type Amen below to accept this divine covering and take this truth to your heart. With faith, say that light is winning. Follow me, do not go. Don't forget this moment. Heaven takes back control of the path that was blocked every second you stay here. I need to ask you a very important question now. Make sure you subscribe before I go on, because messages like this will only get to you when heaven lets them. If you miss even one, you might have to keep walking while danger gets closer. By subscribing, you stay in touch with the sacred teachings, miracles, and warnings that are meant just for you. Now pay close attention. The attack from the spirit world wasn't meant to kill you. It was meant to keep you from seeing what God had planned. But now, Archangel Michael is in front of you. There is light around your name, and his sword is ready. Heaven is following your every move. Since you are still here, change has already begun. Now let me share what God has given me to say next. It is real to feel like your spirit is leaning forward, like it wants to know something. If you feel like time is running out, you are right. God didn't just send me to you today to comfort you. He sent me to warn you, get you ready, and keep what is yours safe before it is lost. Please take this in with all your heart. Your fate was laid out on a table in the spiritual world not long ago. Heaven and hell both saw your blessings, connections, safety, and increased wealth. And you had to make a choice. I think that is what made your chest hurt earlier. That is why your mind has been so busy. Before your mind could understand it, your spirit knew what was going on. You must hear this, my child. The enemy would have taken advantage of the chance God gave you if you had just one more moment of hesitation, doubt, or uncertainty. That is why God told you to tell them they only have 10 seconds left. Today, not tomorrow. Not when things were calmer, but right now, in this very breath. Heaven needed your attention. Please allow me to be clear. There is someone you trust who has mixed feelings. When you are around, they smile. But when you are not, they talk badly about you. They respect how strong you are, but deep down, they want you to fail. They know how powerful you are and are scared by your rise. Their power stood in the way of your breakthroughs. Even though this truth hurts, heaven cannot fix what you are going to defend. You will see the miracle happen faster than you have ever seen. It happen as soon as you let go of what is draining you. Pay close attention, dear. This message isn't meant to scare you. This isn't a threat. This is keeping things safe. This keeps you safe. That blow that was meant to break you is now being blocked by God. If you think this is divine intervention, state in the comments that I am protected. It is more than just words. It is a spiritual anchor that lets heaven know you accept its cover. You have to stay here, though. Stay tuned, because what comes next will affect the next 48 hours of your life. The darkness around your blessings has already begun to fall apart since you opened this message. Your spirit got there just in time to answer the call from heaven. It is possible that you almost missed it, but you didn't. That is why I will keep talking. Your heart, my child, is something special, something powerful, and something that heaven loves very much. To be clear, though, I have to tell you the truth in the same breath. Dear one of the people you trust still has a split heart. Type, I am protected in the comments if your spirit sees this as safety rather than loss. This statement tells heaven that you know what is being taken away and why. Stay where you are, because this clarity is getting you ready for the next thing that will come out. They smile at you when they see you, but they talk badly about you when they are not around. They admire your strength, but they really want you to fail. They know how strong you are and are scared of your rise. Your breakthroughs have been slowed down by this person's energy. I know this hurts, but heaven cannot heal what you keep guarding. You will be rushed toward the miracle faster than anything you have ever known as soon as you let go of what is draining you. From being aware, we are now moving on to activation. Right. I receive what is meant for me in the comments. This is how you stop waiting and start taking part. Pay close attention, because what you are about to hear will help you understand what is right now. Please pay close attention. Dear heaven isn't telling you this to scare you. Note that this is not a threat to your safety. It works to protect. It keeps you safe. God is standing between you and the thing that was meant to break you right now. Listen to me with your whole heart, my child. A secret meeting took place in the spiritual world. Someone you know, someone you trust, spoke your name with the aim of hurting you. They didn't pray for your loss out loud, but their jealousy, bitterness, and fear of how powerful you are created spiritual opposition. Their energy, not their words, held back your miracle. Heaven can see it all. But you don't have to worry, my love. God didn't bring you here to break your heart. He brought you here to set you free. He brought you here to take away the veil and give you spiritual freedom. Since you are reading this, the spell is already broken. Now, the blessing that was stuck has been set free. What was held back is now moving forward. What was hidden is now shown. The next 48 hours are very important for you. You might have strange dreams. You might see signs or numbers that keep coming up. You might feel lighter for no reason. Or you might think more clearly than you have in weeks. This is heaven working. This is what it looks like to activate something. This is freedom breaking through. But my love, I need you to do something. Don't ignore the signs. Don't brush off the feelings you have. Don't talk yourself out of the truth that your spirit already knows. This is real. This is holy. This is yours. And now I need to tell you the most important part. What heaven is about to release into your life is not just one blessing. It is 3 blessings working together at the same time. The first blessing is financial. It is provision, breakthrough, opportunities you didn't see coming, and favor you didn't earn. It is money showing up from places you forgot about. It is debts being forgiven. It is doors opening that you didn't even knock on. This blessing isn't small, and it isn't temporary. It is the kind that creates stability, freedom, and breathing room in your life. Heaven showed me something specific about your financial blessing. There is money that has your name on it. It has been held in the spiritual realm, waiting for the right moment to be released. This isn't money you have to work harder for. This isn't money you have to stress about. This is divine provision. This is supernatural favor. This is God saying, I see what you have been through, and I am making up for lost time. You might see it as an unexpected check. You might see it as a promotion you didn't ask for. You might see it as a refund, a gift, or an opportunity that pays more than you expected. However it comes, know this. It is not luck. It is not coincidence. It is heaven opening the windows and pouring out blessing. You don't have room enough to receive, but you have to be ready to receive it with gratitude, not guilt, with faith, not fear. The second blessing is relational. Heaven is aligning you with someone whose energy matches yours. This could be a friend, a mentor, a partner, or even a stranger who becomes a divine connection. This person will feel different. You will know them by their peace, their clarity, and the way they show up without draining you. They have been delayed for a reason. Heaven was preparing them for you, and you for them. Let me tell you something important about this connection. Every person you have lost, every relationship that ended, every door that closed was making room for this divine alignment. You might have felt lonely. You might have felt abandoned. You might have wondered why people kept leaving, but heaven was protecting you. Heaven was clearing space. Heaven was removing everyone who wasn't meant to walk with you into this next season. This new connection will not feel forced. It will not feel complicated. It will not drain you or confuse you. It will feel like coming home. It will feel like peace. It will feel like finally someone who gets it, someone who sees you, someone who values you without you having to prove your worth. This is the person heaven handpicked for your next level. Don't rush it. Don't force it. Just stay open and watch heaven bring it together. The third blessing is spiritual. Your discernment will sharpen. Your dreams will become clearer. Your intuition will guide you before your mind even catches up. You will start to see lies before they are spoken. You will feel shifts in energy before they happen. This is heaven giving you a gift of sight, a gift of knowing, a gift of protection that no one can take from you. This spiritual awakening is the most powerful of the three blessings because it protects the other two. With sharper discernment, you will know who to trust with your financial blessing. With clearer intuition, you will recognize your divine connections when they show up. With spiritual sight, you will avoid traps, lies, and distractions that used to pull you off course. You are going to start having dreams that feel different, dreams that feel prophetic, dreams that show you things before they happen. Don't dismiss them. Write them down. Pay attention to the symbols, the feelings, the people who show up. Heaven is speaking to you while you sleep because your conscious mind is finally quiet enough to listen. You are also going to notice that certain numbers keep appearing. Maybe it is 111, 222, 333, or another sequence. These aren't random. These are angel numbers. These are heaven's way of saying, I am with you, keep going. You are on the right path. When you see them, pause. Say thank you. Acknowledge that you see the sign. This keeps your spirit aligned with heaven's frequency. All three blessings are being released right now. But heaven showed me something else. These blessings will only fully activate if you stay aligned. If you go back to what you know is draining you. If you hold on to relationships that God already ended. If you ignore the signs and the warnings, the blessings will be delayed again. Not because God changed his mind, but because you weren't ready to receive them. So here is what I need you to do. Let go of what doesn't serve you. Stop defending people who wouldn't defend you. Stop waiting for closure from people who already walked away. Stop carrying guilt for choosing yourself. Heaven is giving you permission to release it all. And when you do, the floodgates open. When you do, everything shifts. If this message has stirred something in your spirit, if you feel called to honor this moment, you can send a super thanks as a way of saying yes to heaven's covering. It is not required, but it is a spiritual seed. When you give in faith, heaven multiplies what you sow. Your obedience becomes your breakthrough. Your gratitude becomes your activation. Now, let me remind you one more time. Subscribe if you haven't already. These messages don't come by accident. They come when heaven allows them. If you miss one, you might walk forward while danger draws closer. Stay connected to the sacred teachings and warnings that are meant just for you. Pay close attention now, because what I am about to tell you will determine how the next 72 hours unfold. Heaven has cleared the path. The obstacles have been removed. The enemies have been silenced. But now, you have a responsibility. You must walk forward in faith, not fear. You must move in trust, not doubt. You must act in obedience, not hesitation. There is a door in front of you right now. It has been locked for months, maybe even years. But heaven just handed you the key. The question is, will you use it, or will you stand there, staring at the door, waiting for permission you already have? My child, you don't need anyone's approval. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to move. The miracle is waiting on the other side of your obedience. The breakthrough is waiting on the other side of your faith. The blessing is waiting on the other side of your decision to let go and trust God. You have been preparing for this moment longer than you realize. Everything you have been through, every pain, every loss, every closed door, was leading you here. Heaven didn't waste a single tear. Heaven didn't overlook a single struggle. It was all part of the preparation. And now, you are ready. The version of you that needed to be broken has been broken. The version of you that needed to be humbled has been humbled. The version of you that needed to be refined has been refined. Now it is time to rise. I need to tell you something before we go any further. There are people watching you right now, people in the spiritual realm, waiting to see what you will do next. Angels are standing by, ready to move on your behalf. But they are waiting for your signal. They are waiting for you to say yes. They are waiting for you to step forward in faith. Type, "I am ready" in the comments if you are ready to activate what heaven has prepared. This isn't just words. This is a spiritual declaration. This is you telling heaven that you are no longer going to wait, doubt, or hesitate. This is you saying, "I trust you, God. I receive what you have for me." And when you do that, everything shifts. Now, let me tell you what is going to happen in the next few days. You are going to see confirmation. It might come as a dream. It might come as a message from someone you haven't heard from in years. It might come as an opportunity that shows up out of nowhere. It might come as a sudden peace that washes over you when you are alone. Don't ignore it. That is heaven confirming that the activation worked. You might also notice that some people start acting differently around you. They might pull away. They might become distant. They might stop calling or texting as much. Don't chase them. That is heaven removing what was blocking your blessing. That is God protecting you from energy that would have slowed you down. Let them go. Your new season doesn't have room for old weights. At the same time, new people will start appearing. Pay attention to who shows up in the next 30 days. Pay attention to who reaches out. Pay attention to who offers help, guidance, or opportunity without you asking. These are your divine connections. These are the people heaven handpicked for your next level. Receive them with gratitude. They are part of the plan. Before I continue, I need to address something that heaven revealed to me about your journey. There have been moments when you wanted to quit. Moments when you felt like giving up was easier than holding on. Moments when the pain felt too heavy and the road felt too long. I need you to know something. Those moments were tests, not to break you, but to prepare you. Every time you chose to keep going when quitting felt easier, you passed a test. Every time you chose to believe when doubt was screaming, you passed a level. Every time you chose to trust when everything looked impossible, you unlocked something in the spiritual realm. Heaven was watching. God was taking notes. And now, all of those moments of faith are about to pay off in ways you cannot even imagine. Now, here is the part that requires your full attention. The blessing that is coming isn't just for you. It is for everyone connected to you. When you rise, your family rises. When you break through, your children break through. When you walk in favor, your lineage walks in favor. This isn't just about your life. This is generational. This is legacy. This is breaking cycles that have been in place for decades. Think about the patterns in your family. Think about the struggles that seem to repeat generation after generation. Financial lack, broken relationships, unfulfilled potential, health issues, addiction, depression. These cycles didn't start with you, but they are going to end with you. Your obedience right now is breaking chains that have held your bloodline captive for years. When you receive your financial blessing, you are not just receiving money. You are breaking the spirit of poverty off your family line. When you receive your divine connection, you are not just receiving a relationship. You are breaking the pattern of toxic relationships that have plagued your family. When you receive your spiritual awakening, you are not just receiving discernment. You are receiving the ability to protect future generations from the same traps that caught previous ones. That is why the enemy fought you so hard. That is why the delays felt so heavy. That is why the attacks felt so personal. Because your breakthrough isn't small. Your blessing isn't ordinary. Your calling isn't just for you. It is for everyone who comes after you. And heaven knew that if you gave up, if you quit, if you walked away, entire generations would miss out on what God had for them. But you didn't give up. You didn't quit. You didn't walk away. You are still here. You are still reading. You are still believing. And that is why heaven is releasing everything right now. Not because you are perfect, not because you have it all figured out, but because you stayed faithful even when it didn't make sense. You stayed obedient even when it hurt. You stayed aligned even when you couldn't see the finish line. God sees that. Heaven honors that. And now, you are about to see the reward for every moment you chose to trust when you wanted to give up. Every moment you chose to believe when doubt was screaming. Every moment you chose to keep going when quitting felt easier. It wasn't in vain. None of it was wasted. It was all preparation for what is coming next. If you have been moved by this message, if you feel the weight of this moment, you can send a super thanks as a way of planting a seed into your own miracle. When you give in faith, heaven multiplies it. When you sow in obedience, you reap in abundance. It is not required, but it is an act of partnership with what God is doing in your life right now. Let me be very clear about something before we close. This message wasn't random. You didn't stumble upon this by accident. You didn't click on this by chance. Heaven orchestrated this moment. God made sure you saw this. Archangel Michael made sure you stayed. And now, the question is, what will you do with what you have received? Will you let it sit as information? Or will you activate it as transformation? Will you read it and forget it? Or will you read it and apply it? The choice is yours. But know this. Heaven has done its part. The message has been delivered. The warning has been given. The blessing has been released. Now, it is up to you to receive it. Type, "I receive my miracle now" in the comments. Declare it with your whole heart. Say it out loud if you have to. Let heaven hear your faith. Let the angels hear your agreement. Let the enemy hear your confidence. Because when you speak it, you activate it. When you declare it, you unlock it. When you believe it, you receive it. The next 48 hours are critical. Stay in faith. Stay in alignment. Stay in obedience. Don't go back to what God delivered you from. Don't return to what heaven removed. Don't pick up what you finally put down. Walk forward. Keep moving. Keep believing. Your miracle is closer than you think. Your breakthrough is right around the corner. Your blessing is already on its way. Archangel Michael is with you. God is for you. Heaven is fighting for you. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop what God has already set in motion. Amen.
Chosen one, stop everything. Do not treat this like another passing message in a noisy world. Read with focus, because what I am about to speak can preserve your life in two places at once, in your spirit and in your mind. This moment is not a coincidence. God has directed your steps here with intention, because right now you are standing at the doorway of something monumental, a divine shift so weighty it will redraw the map of your life. You are at a threshold, and heaven is not whispering about it. Heaven is calling your name. But listen carefully, before God displays the fullness of what He has written over you, before your destiny opens like a scroll in the light, there is a battle you must face. And it will not arrive gently. It will not ask for permission. It will not announce itself politely. The intensity you've been living through, the confusion that seems to rise out of nowhere, the sudden setbacks that feel unjust, the emotional turbulence that hits like a wave and then retreats just long enough to strike again. This is not ordinary pressure. This is spiritual resistance, responding to spiritual promotion. This is what happens when your next level becomes visible in the unseen realm. The darkness reacts when light intensifies. The pressure you feel is the echo of your rising authority. The opposition is fierce because your calling is real. Yet, even now, God is not abandoning you to the storm. He is training you within it. When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard against him. Isaiah 59:19. This is not about mere survival. This is about alignment, about stepping into a position where you do not just endure, but overcome. So anchor this moment in your spirit. Decide now that you will not disengage. Choose to remain present, alert, and receptive. What follows is not entertainment. It is instruction, warning, and empowerment woven together. If you walk away prematurely, you risk missing insight that could protect you from traps designed specifically for your destiny. This is your divine wake-up call. A summons to stand firm, sharpen your discernment, and prepare for what God has already set in motion. So before we go any further, lock this moment into your spirit. Treat this as a holy checkpoint, an intersection where your attention becomes your protection. Do these 3 things right now. Hit the like button as a public declaration that you are present and engaged in this fight. Subscribe and connect yourself to a community of people who refuse to fold under pressure, and comment the number 99. And to every person who sows, supports, or sends a super thanks, may God multiply it back into your life in ways you could not imagine. Do it with intention, not superstition. Intention. Let it be your signal that you are not hiding anymore. Let it be your marker that you are choosing vigilance over apathy, faith over fear, focus over distraction. That number becomes a line in the sand. It becomes a witness. It becomes your way of saying, I will not drift. I will not disappear. I will not quit in the final stretch. If you are truly chosen, you will not turn away when the message gets sharp. You will stay until the end because something in your spirit already recognizes that this warning, this strengthening, this revelation is not just relevant, it is necessary. If you leave too early, you risk missing the kind of instruction that keeps you from stepping into traps designed to delay your destiny. This is your wake-up call. Stand strong, stay alert, and prepare for the purpose God has placed on your life. The attacks are fierce because the calling is real. Now let me show you how to face these battles head-on and come out victorious. This is not a casual moment. This is a proclamation over you, chosen one, that your season of transformation is not someday. It is approaching your door. You are being positioned for a rise that will shock the version of you that used to doubt. And even if the world calls it timing or luck, you and I both know what it is: alignment. Heaven is arranging what you cannot control. God is ordering what you cannot see. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. That means you do your part. Faith, obedience, discipline, prayer. And God does what only God can do: move mountains, open doors, redirect people, and shift atmospheres. You have walked a road filled with preparation, sacrifice, and lessons that were expensive. You endured chapters you never would have chosen. You carried weights you didn't deserve. You learned to smile while bleeding privately. You kept going while feeling misunderstood. But the fruit of that road is becoming ripe. And now the heavens are saying, get ready. The breakthrough you have been longing for is on its way. Not everyone receives a divine summons. Not everyone is trusted with this kind of mantle. Not everyone is trained this deeply. But you, yes, you have been shaped for something that will require stamina, integrity, and spiritual authority. Yet, with this declaration comes a holy awareness. This is not only about celebration, it is about readiness. It is about vigilance. It is about courage. Because right before your moment of acceleration, pressure often intensifies. The enemy does not attack because you are weak. The enemy attacks because you are dangerous to darkness. The enemy attacks because your yes is about to unlock doors for other people too. That is why you must embrace this moment with open arms, but also prepare your heart and mind for what lies ahead. Here is one of the strongest truths you must hold. You are fully equipped for what is coming, not partially, not someday, not after you get it together. Now, everything you have survived, every tear you cried, every time you fell and got back up, every time you chose obedience when it was inconvenient, it has been shaping you into someone who can handle what God is releasing. God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. 1 Corinthians 10:13. That means the weight you feel has a limit, and that limit is proof of God's supervision over the process. Sometimes you look at the unknown and you question your readiness. That's human. But understand this: God does not call the unprepared. God trains the called. God refines the chosen. God strengthens the appointed. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord, your God, will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. You are not stepping into the next chapter alone. You are not walking into your assignment unsupported. You are being backed by heaven. Think of a runner at the starting line. Every mile behind them was training, not punishment. Every early morning, every sore muscle, every day they didn't quit. That is what makes them ready when the race begins. Your race is about to start, and you have the tools you need to win. When fear tries to creep in, remind yourself you are ready. When uncertainty tries to shake you, declare you are ready. When doubt whispers that it's too big for you, answer with truth. God does not send you where grace cannot sustain you. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. And even if your physical eyes cannot see what is moving yet, understand this: the spiritual realm is already in motion for your promotion. Just as the sea responds to the moon, your life is responding to divine timing. There are invisible threads being woven together right now, threads of favor, connection, opportunity, clarity, and direction. Some doors are opening quietly. Some people are being moved out of your path without drama. Some alignments are being formed behind the scenes. The Lord will fulfill His purpose for me. Psalm 138, verse 8. That is not wishful thinking. That is destiny speaking. You are watching the final puzzle piece slide into place. And when it locks, the picture becomes breathtaking. There are connections you need that are forming. There are opportunities being prepared. There are ideas being dropped into your spirit. There are conversations that will happen at the right time, that will feel sudden to you, but have been scheduled in heaven. This alignment is not random. It is intentional. It is personal. It is designed for you. And understand the nature of promotion. It is not just about a title, a platform, a position, or a spotlight. Real promotion is about becoming a greater version of who you already are. It is about capacity. It is about influence. It is about impact. It is about responsibility with wisdom. It is about authority with humility. That is why testing often comes before elevation, because the blessing has weight, and the vessel must be strong enough to carry it. So God is warning you. Right before your moment of glory, unexpected attacks can arise. And often they are not obvious. They come subtle. They come quiet. They come through emotions, through relationships, through fatigue, through distraction, through mental fog. It can feel like the enemy is trying to shake your foundation, and that is exactly what is happening. But here is the truth. Those attacks are not proof you are losing. They are signals that you are close. This is why you must prepare yourself mentally and spiritually. Do not panic. Do not spiral. Do not interpret resistance as rejection. Interpret it as confirmation. The closer you get to a door God is opening, the more you must guard your focus, your peace, and your identity. In this world, you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. John 16:33. Trouble is real, but it is not greater than the overcomer who is with you. One of the hardest battles you will face is not against a person. It is against invisible forces aiming to infiltrate your mind and your heart. These attacks target your emotions with precision. They seek to undermine your confidence, plant fear, and ignite self-doubt. They whisper lies like, "You're not special. You don't deserve this. God has forgotten you. You're too late. You're too broken." These thoughts can feel heavy, but they are not truth. They are tactics. So you must anchor yourself daily in who you are. You are not a mistake. You are not an afterthought. You are not abandoned. You are a chosen child of God, loved, guided, and equipped. Greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world. 1 John 4:4. When the enemy tries to manipulate your emotions, respond with courage. Refuse to let fear dictate your path. Your emotional strength becomes a shield when your spirit is rooted in truth. Now let's talk about doubt, because doubt is one of the deadliest weapons unseen enemies use. It creeps into your mind like smoke, distorting the way you see yourself and the way you perceive God. The more you entertain doubt, the more it chips away at your resolve. Doubt makes you question your worth. Doubt makes you question your calling. Doubt makes you question the promises spoken over your life. And the goal of doubt is paralysis. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, ready to leap into the future God has prepared. Doubt becomes the fog that hides the landing. It makes you hesitate. It makes you fear. It makes you consider turning back. But that fog is not from God. God is not the author of confusion. Confusion is a weapon used to stall your movement. That is why you must reinforce your faith daily. Build a wall of truth around your mind. The weapons we fight with have divine power to demolish strongholds. 2 Corinthians 10:4. Strongholds are mental prisons. Faith demolishes them. Speak truth over your life with conviction, not once, daily. When doubt rises, counter it with declarations. When fear grows loud, drown it in Scripture. When anxiety tries to rule, answer it with prayer. Doubt loses strength when faith stands taller. We live by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. Your eyes may not see it yet, but heaven is already moving. Also, recognize the enemy's timing. Attacks often come when you feel isolated, tired, or emotionally drained, because that's when you are most vulnerable. Sometimes attacks hit when you least expect them, like shadows trying to stretch across your mind in the quiet hours. When you are alone, your thoughts can become a battlefield. Worries amplify, memories replay. What if multiplies. Anxiety tries to take over the room. But solitude does not have to be weakness. Solitude can become sanctuary. Use alone moments to deepen your connection with God. Fill the silence with prayer, worship, and reflection. Turn quiet into strength. He who watches over you will not slumber. Psalm 121, verse 3. If God does not sleep, you do not need to panic. You are not unguarded. And yes, some of the strongest attacks come right after you receive a blessing. When you feel uplifted, hopeful, and joyful, the enemy often tries to disrupt your peace. It's as if darkness hates your celebration. After a blessing, you may be tempted toward pride, complacency, distraction, or comparison. That is why you must stay grounded. Celebrate with gratitude, but keep your discernment sharp. Be alert and of sober mind. 1 Peter 5:8. When your heart stays humble, your blessing stays protected. And hear this: blessings are signs of favor, and favor is not fragile. What God has assigned to you cannot be snatched by petty warfare. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. The enemy can try to delay, distract, or discourage, but it cannot cancel what God has decreed. You may wonder why God allows testing. Listen, tests are not punishments. Tests are training. God is shaping you, strengthening you, refining you, because what is ahead requires maturity. Like a sculptor chiseling stone, God removes what cannot go with you into the next season. Like fire purifies gold, pressure purifies purpose. He knows the way that I take. When he has tested me, I will come forth as gold. Job 23:10. That means the test is not your ending, it is your refining. Now hear this next part with attention, because it matters. Within the next 48 hours, your life can shift in ways that mark your story permanently. Not because of luck, not because of chance, because God can change a season suddenly. God can turn a page in a moment. God can release what has been held back when the timing is complete. Suddenly the Lord you are seeking will come. Malachi 3:1. Suddenly is a God language. Your breakthrough may show up in career, relationships, health, finances, or spiritual clarity. It may come through a phone call, a conversation, a new connection, a divine idea, a restored peace, an unexpected offer, an open door, a healed wound, a renewed mind. But whatever form it takes, it will be tailored to your destiny and protected by God's hand. The Lord will go before you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Deuteronomy 31:8. That means the path ahead is not unguarded, it is guided. So, in these critical hours, do not become passive, do not drift, do not numb yourself. Stay prayerful, stay expectant, stay open. When God moves, it can look ordinary at first, until you realize it was orchestrated. Keep your spirit sensitive, keep your mind clear, keep your heart guarded, because guarding your heart, your mind, and your spirit is not optional, it is essential. Spiritual vigilance means you refuse to let negativity, fear, or doubt infiltrate your inner sanctuary. A fortress survives because it has watchmen. Your life must have watchmen too. Prayer, scripture, worship, wise community, and disciplined boundaries. Above all, Love each other deeply. 1 Peter 4:8 can become your filter. Love for God, love for truth, love for what strengthens your soul. Avoid what drains you. Avoid what pollutes your mind. Avoid environments that feed insecurity. Avoid people who celebrate your downfall. That is not pride. That is protection. Your breakthrough is too precious to be lost to distraction. Your calling is too significant to be diluted by toxic cycles. Vigilance is not living in fear. Vigilance is living in faith with your eyes open. And understand this, your breakthrough is not an end point. It is a launch pad. God has been building power within you, not for ego, not for applause, not for performance, but for purpose. You are being prepared to carry something that impacts others. Your story is not only for you. Your testimony will become someone's lifeline. Your freedom will become someone's blueprint. Your courage will become someone's permission to believe again. They overcame by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. Revelation 12:11. Your testimony is weaponized in the Spirit. But here's a critical warning. Isolation is one of the greatest traps you can fall into right now. When God is preparing to elevate you, staying connected matters. Staying visible matters. Not for fame, never for fame, but for support, accountability, and alignment. When you disappear into silence, doubts multiply unchecked. Fear grows roots. Confusion feels louder, but when you remain connected, you surround yourself with truth and strength. You were designed for community. Even strong people need strong people. Even warriors need reinforcement. Two are better than one. If either of them falls, one can help the other up. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10. Do not fight alone. Reach out. Stay engaged. Share your journey. Let your light be seen. Because your light is not only for your path, it illuminates the path for others too. And no matter how relentless the opposition becomes, hear this with certainty. What God has set aside for you is covered. It is guarded. It is sealed. The enemy may throw distractions, attacks, and obstacles, but it cannot touch what belongs to you by divine decree. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27, verse 1. That is the stance of a person who understands protection. As your breakthrough approaches, your responsibility is readiness, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Strength is not only endurance, strength is stability. Strength is refusing to be shaken by confusion. Strength is choosing faith when feelings are unstable. Strength is standing firm when everything tries to push you backward. And God is not asking you to do this in your own power. He is empowering you as you align with Him. So prepare like a soldier who knows battle is real. Guard your mind, feed your spirit, rest your body, worship intentionally, pray with fire, remove distractions, speak life over your home, speak peace over your emotions, declare truth over your identity. I have given you authority over all the power of the enemy. Luke 10:19. Authority is not arrogance. Authority is knowing who backs you. And yes, storms are often tests. How do you know you're being tested? One sign is disruption of normal peace. Things that used to flow suddenly feel heavy. Delays appear. Conflicts increase. Emotional confusion rises. Another sign is old wounds resurfacing. Temptations you thought were dead. Doubts you thought were buried. That is not failure. That is refinement. God is saying, we will heal this now before you carry what comes next. Another sign is when your usual support systems feel quiet. Friends feel distant. Mentors go silent. you feel spiritually alone. That can be a training ground, God teaching you intimacy, endurance, and dependence. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart. Psalm 73:26. So do not confuse testing with abandonment. God's silence does not mean God's absence. It can mean God is working in ways you cannot track. It can mean He is watching how you stand under pressure. And understand this: the greater the test, the greater the reward. Now listen, because this is the turning point. The battleground is often the mind, but the target is your heart. Doubt tries to pierce your beliefs, your identity, your hope. And when doubt enters the heart, it poisons everything. That is why you must guard your inner world fiercely. One of the most dangerous forms of emotional warfare is comparison. It makes you look at other people's timing and question your own. It makes you measure your process against someone else's highlight. It whispers, "You're behind." But God's path for you is personal. God's timing for you is precise. There is a time and a season. Daniel 2:21. Your season is not late, it is loading. Another weapon is discouragement. Discouragement makes you forget what God has already done. That is why gratitude is a shield. When you feel overwhelmed, shift your focus to evidence of God's faithfulness. Past victories, rescued moments, doors already opened. Speak it aloud. God has carried me too far to abandon me now. Gratitude grounds the mind and strengthens the spirit. And when the battle rises, because it will, your first weapon is prayer. Not casual prayer, not lifeless repetition. Warrior prayer. Prayer that aligns you with heaven and breaks resistance. Prayer that declares truth over lies. Prayer that refuses to surrender territory. Prayer that turns panic into power. Call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things. Jeremiah 33:3. God responds to hearts that seek Him, and beyond prayer, live in worship. Worship changes atmospheres. Worship silences fear. Worship reminds your spirit who sits on the throne. When you worship, you are not entertaining emotions. You are establishing authority in the unseen. When you praise in the middle of pressure, you declare that your circumstances do not control your faith. Finally, do not let isolation swallow you. Isolation is a silent killer of spiritual momentum. When you withdraw, the enemy gains room to amplify worries and replay failures. But connection breaks the spell. Truth spoken by someone who loves you can dismantle a lie in seconds. Reach out, join community, stay accountable, talk to someone, step into the light. Because darkness loves secrecy, but healing loves exposure. Chosen one, this is not the season to fold. This is the season to stand. This is the season to sharpen. This is the season to rise. God's timing may have felt confusing, but divine timing is not about convenience. It is about readiness. God waits until your character can carry the blessing without collapsing under it. That is why you were trained. That is why you were refined. That is why you survived what should have broken you. So stay alert, stay strong, stay anchored. Because the change you've been praying for, the doors you've been knocking on, the dreams you've been nurturing in silence, they are approaching manifestation. And when God moves, your story will be rewritten in a way that makes it undeniable. This was never random. This was always ordained. Now, breathe. Take your position. Comment 99 if you're still here, still listening, still fighting. And let this be your declaration. I will not be shaken. I will not be distracted. I will not be delayed by fear. I am chosen. I am guarded. I am ready, and my breakthrough is at the door.